Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to ThisJustin's WWE 2k24 Universe Mode. Here tonight we are seeing the 30-man over-the-top rope battle royal, the Royal Rumble that will determine who will face Samoa Joe in the main event of Wrestlemania for the World Heavyweight Championship. We saw Samoa Joe successful earlier tonight in his title defense against The Rock, meaning that Samoa Joe will be the defending champion going into there, assuming that he is able to successfully defend it at the following event, Elimination Chamber. And we are going to find out now who the 30 competitors who will be entering this contest for their opportunity to main event WrestleMania are. Samoa Joe, a two-time World Heavyweight Champion, and over 100 days into his second reign with that championship, going to look to continue on his title reign tonight with a very impressive win over The Rock. And now we see entering first in the Royal Rumble contest is Monty Brown, the Alpha Male. We have seen Monty Brown with some very impressive performances over the course of this year. Of course, Monty Brown having faced off against the likes of Ilja Dragunov way back at SummerSlam in an incredibly intense contest. Not to mention in more recent months, Clash at the Castle going up against Batista, as well as in more recent times meeting Oba Femi in a singles match at Survivor Series War Games. So we have seen some incredible contests for Monty Brown here in Universe Mode, and he's going to have to go from coast to coast in this match if he's going to want to challenge Samoa Joe in the main event of WrestleMania, and that is a match I would be front row to see, most definitely. Now, who will be joining Monty Brown at the start of this match? We are about to find out who drew number 2, and it appears that Monty Brown will be joined by his competitor from that Survivor Series match. Entering second in this contest is Oba Femi. Two tremendous competitors and tremendous athletes to start off this match, and two incredibly intense competitors who will really set the tone here in the early goings of this match to see how intense everyone can be to bring their A game here tonight for a chance at Samoa Joe.
And have their name etched in history.
These two with no love lost between them, having faced off again, as I mentioned, back at Survivor Series, which ended in a victory for Monty Brown. You got to think that in this contest, Oba Femi would be looking to eliminate Monty Brown to try and get some payback for him. Now we see these two competitors starting off in this matchup. Series of strikes in the middle of the ring as these two meet in the center. Now going to follow it up. Powerbomb, falling powerbomb position there from Monty Brown. A back elbow to Oba Femi stops him dead in his tracks. We rarely see competitors who can go toe-to-toe with someone the caliber of Oba Femi, but if there's one person that can match his intensity, match his dominance and his stoicism, it would be that of the alpha male Monty Brown, who has had a tremendous showing this season in Universe Mode. Overhead belly-to-belly suplex now sends Oba Femi across the ring. Such tremendous strength on display here at the hands of the alpha male, as now we see the third competitor going to be looking to join them in this matchup. Another heel toss from Monty Brown, powering Oba Femi across the ring. And now the third competitor to join this matchup is Omos, a man who we've seen very little of here in Universe Mode, but yet another massive competitor joining the ranks of these three competitors to start this matchup. You have an absolute towering presence over even these two tremendously large athletes. He is a domineering presence in the ring is Omos, over 7 feet tall. Now receiving tag team offense here now from the likes of Oba Femi and Monty Brown. much to my surprise, I must say, to see these two working together so efficiently here. But short-lived alliance as now the Fireman's carry position reversed at the hands of Obafemi, who once more is going to look to go on the attack after Monty Brown, but now Omos once more getting involved here. Monty Brown lands a flatliner on the massive Omos, but Omos back to his feet already, and now next entering this matchup, perhaps one person that can look eye to eye with Omos, and that being Kevin Nash, another tremendous athlete. 4 hosses in the ring right now, tremendously large caliber, and big boot from Kevin Nash to Omos, sending him to the outside and instantly asserting his claim as the superior tall man amongst the two. Of course, a legend in his own right, but in order to eliminate Omos with such ease, Kevin Nash certainly setting the tone for this matchup, and for himself being a factor in this matchup as well. Something that both these two men are going to have to look out for here, Obafemi and Monty Brown, as we see them continue to fight back and forth with one another. The first and second competitors in this matchup, and going to look to be a common thread throughout as we see their rivalry continue to develop. But now we see Kevin Nash sending Obafemi to the outside and eliminating Obafemi. Kevin Nash with 2 tremendous eliminations on some incredible showcase of his strength so far in this matchup, and now we see the 5th competitor in this matchup and the current Mr. Money in the Bank, that being CM Punk. Of course, CM Punk, going back to that Money in the Bank pay-per-view, was a participant in the Money in the Bank ladder match, however unsuccessful, and a pile driver to Monty Brown there stops the momentum of Monty, and now we see CM Punk at the behest of Monty Brown now with a military press, muscling him up over the shoulders and dropping him down, followed by a Northern Lariat from Kevin Nash there, a man who has amassed 2 massive eliminations in short order in this contest and could be looking to continue that momentum. CM Punk, a man who was in the Money in the Bank ladder match earlier this year, however unsuccessful in that match. It wasn't until later in the year, in a victory that he had over Macho Man Randy Savage at the Bad Blood pay-per-view, that he was able to actually secure that briefcase, now being the current holder. And we see Solo Sikoa entering the ring, a man who met on the opposite side of the ring. A series of military presses here, a very impressive showcase of power there from Monty Brown. CM Punk, though, a man who has showcased a rivalry with the Bloodline here in Universe Mode, and now going at it with Solo Sikoa. We see 2 men who met on the opposite side of the ring back at Survivor Series 4 War Games, and looking to continue that rivalry here. Springboard clothesline now from Punk to Sikoa, as Kevin Nash and Monty Brown continuously going at it once more. Kevin Nash looking to attempt yet another elimination there on Solo, perhaps, but it's Solo now who has the advantage, going to look to muscle Kevin Nash over the ropes. And now we see number 7th entrant in this contest is Dusty Rhodes. Dusty entering this matchup following we haven't seen much of Dusty in the past few months here in Universe Mode, not since he was in NXT a few months ago to challenge his son, the current North American champion, for that championship way back earlier this year. And ever since then, we haven't really seen Dusty. He's now making his presence known once more, this time on the stage that is the Royal Rumble, and looking for a Mania match. Kevin Nash now barely hanging on. We see the tremendous stature of Kevin Nash, however, somehow still able to hold on with those massive tree trunk-like legs to be able to maintain his participation in this match is surprising at such a juncture for him to have that kind of agility. And now we see Solo Sikoa on the attack going after Kevin Nash. Could be looking to amass yet another elimination here. Andre the Giant now number 8 entrant in this contest, a man who you have to think many people would really struggle to be capable of eliminating here. Now Monty Brown, we see, sends Kevin Nash to the outside, followed up with Solo Sikoa, eliminating the number 1 entrant in this match, that of Monty Brown. We saw Monty capitalize on the damage that was done to Kevin Nash, a man who eliminated 2 competitors in this matchup. Monty successfully eliminating him, but immediately after being caught off guard at the hands of Solo Sikoa, a man who you'd have to think, following The Rock's defeat earlier tonight to Samoa Joe in such a convincing fashion, might I add, that the Bloodline is going to really have to have a tremendously impressive performance here in the Royal Rumble match if they're ever going to want to be looking at that championship come the end of WrestleMania. That is a common thread that we have seen here throughout Universe Mode. Of course, Roman Reigns being the current Triple Crown champion. But now at number 9, we see the introduction of Hiromu Takahashi, who's immediately going after Dusty Rhodes, 2 people that I never in my life would have thought I'd be mentioning on commentary that they are locking up. And now Solo Sikoa dropping Hiromu first across the ropes. Hiromu going to continue on with the bizarre fantasy warfare here as he squares off with Andre the Giant and actually manages to hit an STO on him. Hiromu, the current PWG champion here in Universe Mode, is worth mentioning. Only the 3rd man to hold that championship, and a man who has successfully done so for quite some time here in Universe Mode. Now a series of strikes that get Andre back up to his feet here, as we see now Solo Sikoa with a Samoan spike to Dusty Rhodes, which could be very bad for Dusty's chances in this match if it weren't for CM Punk interjecting himself in Bloodline business once more. And now we see, coming out at number 10, a man who earlier this year would hold the Cruiserweight Championship, that being for 133 days here in Universe Mode following a victory over Speedball Mike Bailey. And there we see, hitting a Destino, is Ricochet, a tremendous competitor in his own right, but ever since turning his back on the fans throughout his Cruiserweight Championship run, not finding any championship success, but a victory here in the Royal Rumble could change that. And now we see the PWG champion Hiromu Takahashi dispatched at the hands of Andre the Giant. I hate to see it, but I can't say that it's much of a surprise. But what might be a surprise there is Dusty Rhodes nailing a headbutt directly to the face of Solo Sikoa and busting him open. For someone of Samoan lineage to be busted open at the hands of that headbutt, you have to know that the impact of that must have been tremendous. And now we see Dusty Rhodes going to work, looking to eliminate Andre the Giant from this matchup. And next we see coming out to the ring, before we could even see, Ricochet perhaps at the brink of elimination there. I was going to mention, before we could even see these two square off, Speedball Mike Bailey, the previous Cruiserweight champion, to Ricochet, holding that belt for 300 days, and going to look to rekindle that rivalry here in this match, most likely. Not to mention, earlier tonight, Speedball Mike Bailey and Ricochet appearing in that Cruiserweight Scramble for the Cruiserweight Championship. That Ilja Dragunov was successful in defending his championship against 7 competitors, very narrowly though, might I add. An excellent championship match worth going back to check out. Now we see Speedball Mike Bailey with a running PK to Andre the Giant, following it up with a standing shooting star press. Some moves that Andre perhaps was just not prepared for this evening. And we see Dusty Rhodes, who snake eyes to CM Punk in that corner, busting him open and illuminating the face of Punk with a crimson mask. As now we see number 12 coming out to the ring. We see the third ever in Universe Mode, the third ever NXT X Division champion from last season, that being Umaga, a 49-day champion with that belt, before losing it to Seth Rollins. And now we see Dusty Rhodes looking for the elimination on CM Punk, but Punk just desperately holding on, and we see a rewind Rana for what it's worth from Speedball Mike Bailey as well. And now we see Solo Sikoa positioning Punk, and Solo getting an elimination on CM Punk. Not only did he eliminate Monty Brown, but Solo Sikoa eliminating the current Money in the Bank holder. And I think perhaps while Speedball was hitting that rewind Rana, that Andre the Giant was eliminated as well at the hands of Umaga, which is a massive elimination here in this contest, as we see the Bloodline really running things right now, as Umaga going after Speedball Mike Bailey in one corner, and Solo Sikoa pairing off with Dusty Rhodes in yet another. A very devastating turn of events for the two competitors in this matchup that are going to be at the face of that attack. However, now we see the addition of the current the current Cruiserweight champion. I apologize for that. The current Cruiserweight champion here in Universe Mode, making his entrance known, and that being Ilja Dragunov, a man who in the past has also held on to the United Kingdom Championship here in Universe Mode for 301 days. And now we see Dusty Rhodes eliminating Solo Sikoa, not without Solo Sikoa having a tremendous impact on this match, eliminating the likes of Monty Brown and more primarily CM Punk, who now will be excluded from the main event of WrestleMania, barring his Money in the Bank briefcase cash-in attempt. Chokeslam there from Umaga to Ilja Dragunov, sent him down into the corner in a seated position, and now we see a spinning heel kick at the hands of Mike Bailey, who's now going to pair off with Umaga, as now we see the 14th competitor in this matchup make his way down to the ring. Bronson Reed, another tremendous competitor, massive in size, and three just very large men here we see in the ring across Bronson Reed, Dusty Rhodes, and Umaga. Very dense gentlemen here. Going to be very difficult for these two Cruiserweight caliber competitors to make the elimination, not to discount Speedball Mike Bailey's capabilities, nor Ilja Dragunov's resolve and fighting spirit, but just size-wise, you got to think that they're at a disadvantage here amongst the giants such as them. And now we see Speedball Mike Bailey with an elimination to Ilja Dragunov following their Cruiserweight Scramble match earlier tonight. That is a tremendous elimination at the hands of Speedball, who now could stake his claim for yet another Cruiserweight Championship opportunity in the future, given that he has eliminated Ilja Dragunov from this match. And next we see out at number 15, now another spinning heel kick from Mike Bailey, that time to Bronson Reed. Next at number 15, halfway through the field, we see the addition of the recently defeated United States Champion, the former United States Champion here in WWE, Stone Cold Steve Austin, losing that championship earlier tonight to a Samoan Spike from Umaga, immediately just taking the wind out of the sails of Stone Cold. And following up, we see a Spanish fly from Speedball Mike Bailey to Bronson Reed off of the top rope, and now a rewind Rana from Bailey to Dusty Rhodes, and a shooting star to follow it up. Umaga, however, squaring off with Stone Cold and taking him out with that wheel kick there that we saw. Umaga, for his own right, a relative of Jacob Fatu, who we saw defeat Stone Cold earlier here tonight for the United States Championship. So continuing once more that rivalry throughout the night here. A series of power slams there from the large men, as now we see 16, a surprise entrant into this Royal Rumble match and making his first time appearance here in Universe Mode. We see Kamala making his way down to the ring. Kamala has never once been seen here in Universe Mode, and quite the surprise for him to be showing up in this Royal Rumble match. Could Kamala perhaps be going on to face Samoa Joe at WrestleMania? I think no matter which other competitor you look at in the ring right now, I think that's more likely, but it's worth mentioning and worth considering, as now we see busted open in the corner is Bronson Reed at the hands of Dusty Rhodes, a man who has been in this contest for quite some time. Dusty entering at number 7, and now perhaps eclipsing a third of the field, I should say. And now sending out Bronson Reed, Dusty Rhodes with another tremendous elimination. Not only Solo Sikoa here tonight, but also eliminating Bronson Reed, another very credible athlete and contender. And now we see Dusty Rhodes positioning Mike Bailey for a power slam over the ropes, sending Mike Bailey out of here. And Mike Bailey, after a tremendous elimination that he had to Ilja Dragunov, coming up unsuccessful here tonight at the hands of Dusty Rhodes, a man who has had a profound impact on this match. And now on the other side of the ring, we see Stone Cold with the elimination to Umaga. And I didn't even have the chance to mention that at number 17, we have the addition of Macho Man Randy Savage making his entrance in this match. The man who earlier this year would hold the Money in the Bank briefcase following the Money in the Bank ladder match, putting it on the line though in his blood feud against CM Punk, and coming up unsuccessful, as now we see Stone Cold positioning Kamala and gets tossed out of the ring. One of the perhaps the most surprising elimination that we've seen the entire night is Stone Cold Steve Austin being eliminated at an attempt to throw Kamala out of this match. I really was not expecting that to go down that way, but Stone Cold continuing to have a awful night tonight. And now we see at number 18 the addition of Chad Gable, continuing the trend of Cruiserweight champions who have entered this matchup. And now Chad Gable with an immediate elimination to Kamala. So for whatever effort, Kamala eliminating Stone Cold for what it was worth, but then immediately being tossed out at the hands of the former Cruiserweight champion, that being Chad Gable. A man who would hold that championship, as a matter of fact, for 49 days before losing it to Jushin Thunder Liger a few years back. And now over the head, belly-to-belly suplex from Gable, who's able to mix it up in the ring now with two legends. Once more, it's worth mentioning that Macho Man Randy Savage, the former Money in the Bank winner here in Universe Mode, not to mention a few other championship opportunities against the likes of Sami Zayn, a man who we see coming out to the ring right now. Sami Zayn here in Universe Mode, a very acclaimed championship competitor, a former 168-day reign with the Triple Crown Championship, that before he lost it to our current champion, that being Roman Reigns. Sami Zayn looking to get back on his championship road to redemption here in Universe Mode, as he has yet to acquire a World Heavyweight Championship, unlike the current AEW World Champion, his best friend, Kevin Owens. Sami Zayn, unfortunately unsuccessful in acquiring that World Championship status, and this could be the match that solidifies him as that main eventer. Now looking to go after Dusty Rhodes, a man who has continued on in this contest despite everyone's doubts, despite what everyone might be saying. And now Macho Man and Sami Zayn squaring off in the corner. Two men who met for that Triple Crown Championship earlier this year at Night of Champions. And now coming down to the ring at number 20, we see Karrion Kross, an incredible move there from Sami Zayn to turn Macho Man inside out with that, hoisting him up for a deadlift into a powerbomb. Incredible showcase of power from Zayn. And now we see Dusty Rhodes going at it with Karrion Kross, shutting down whatever momentum he might have had for the time being. And now we see half and half suplex there from Sami Zayn. Karrion Kross eliminated pretty much off the rip from Dusty Rhodes, a man who has been on an absolute tear here throughout the course of the Royal Rumble match here. I must say, Dusty looking really great for someone who had entered at number 7, and now currently we are up to the 21st competitor is about to come out soon. And it's worth noting that Dusty Rhodes, very fresh in this contest, in the sense that he's been off for months. Ever since his championship match against Cody Rhodes, we have not seen Dusty Rhodes. So being able to come back into this match completely refreshed might have played to his benefit there, as we see him unload on Chad Gable now. Now a series of strikes, that time Macho Man striking Dusty Rhodes to assist Sami Zayn, who lands a German suplex attempt on Dusty Rhodes. Now we see Chad Gable being sent into the ropes at the hands of Sami Zayn. Chad Gable busted open at some point in this match. Rolling Death Valley driver there from Macho Man to The Undertaker, who is the 21st competitor in this matchup. The Undertaker now being sent to the outside at the hands of Macho Man. Macho Man could be looking for a big elimination here, and drop kick to The Undertaker. Macho Man immediately sending The Undertaker out of this match before he even has a chance to get going here. A big elimination at the hands of Macho Man, a man who has had pretty much a stranglehold on the attention of all the WWE Universe throughout the course of this year. A man who has asserted time and time again the contributions that he has made to this brand. And now we see entering at number 22. He was always better than The Undertaker anyway, in every sense of the word. It is Dave Bautista, far better actor than The Rock. And we see a knee strike to the arm. Both these guys got off of Hollywood for this event. Military press attempt there from Dusty Rhodes, countered by Sami Zayn into a DDT, and now we see Sami, big boot to Dusty Rhodes. Sami Zayn has done it. He has eliminated Dusty Rhodes, who perhaps was his biggest competition at this point in this matchup to continue going on. Dusty Rhodes amassing some massive eliminations over the course of this match to this point. And now we see Sami Zayn with a serious face wash to Batista. On the other side of the ring, Chad Gable with a mat return to Macho Man Randy Savage. DDT there from Sami Zayn, as the younger generation, Sami Zayn and Chad Gable, getting the better of Macho Man and Batista there. As now we see the 23rd entrant in this contest, the Fallen Angel, Christopher Daniels here. A man who we've seen very little of in Universe mode, but he has been a mainstay. And Batista now eliminating Macho Man Randy Savage with relative ease there, as he just sent him flying over the top rope and to the outside. Very unceremonious exit there from Macho Man Randy Savage. I do wish that when it came to these stars with the higher overall, that 2K would be mindful of the fact that maybe we just don't want them getting thrown out very willy-nilly, but so be it. Chad Gable fighting out of that Death Valley driver attempt, and now we see, after following a springboard dropkick, now Christopher Daniels getting the advantage on Sami Zayn. Chad Gable unsuccessful in eliminating Batista there, and now looking for the number 24th competitor to enter this match. Batista has Chad Gable positioned and clotheslines him out of here. Chad Gable has been eliminated now. 2 competitors eliminated at the hands of Batista, as we see in number 24, Harley Race making his entrance into this match. Another man who we haven't really seen in quite a few months here in Universe mode, going back to Night of Champions. And now Blue Thunder Bomb from Sami Zayn to Batista, as Batista rolls to the outside for a bit of a reprieve. Electric chair position there for Harley Race, but Christopher Daniels having none of it. Super kick after the waistlock attempt, as Sami Zayn now having none of it. Michinoku driver now sits out with Christopher Daniels, as Harley Race brings him in for a belly-to-belly suplex. Now it's Batista who sends Harley Race into the corner. Series of shoulder tackles here. And the clock ticking as we introduce our 25th competitor into this matchup. And who will make their next entrance? It is John Cena is here. A man here in Universe mode who earlier this year held the AEW Tag Team Championships alongside Randy Orton in Respect Knowledge Order, one of the most unconventional teams that we've ever seen here in Universe mode. A team tasked with bringing their degree of respect and knowledge to the remainder of the roster, and in doing so holding on to the AEW Tag Team Championships. Batista bomb there from Batista to Christopher Daniels. However, it's Sami Zayn who cuts him off. John Cena being traded here to the WWE in exchange for Kevin Owens, and we have seen how that worked out for Kevin Owens, as we see a monkey flip from John Cena there. Kevin Owens now the current AEW World Champion following his victory over Kenny Omega, and John Cena perhaps looking to replicate that same degree of success here, well, now that he's back in the WWE. however unsuccessful in War Games, as he was on the same side as Sami Zayn, Samoa Joe, and CM Punk to go up against the Bloodline. And now we see entering the match at number 26 and immediately receiving a pump handle suplex for his efforts is Hijo del Vikingo. Whilst I was mentioning that, we saw Batista rack up yet another elimination here in this matchup. The animal is for sure unleashed here as he eliminated Harley Race there from this matchup. John Cena now and Sami Zayn going to square off with a Blue Thunder bomb from Sami to John Cena, who as of when I'm recording this, about 2 weeks ago had a open challenge on SmackDown that was ruined by Pervy Lesnar. So really a tremendous shame, but hopefully we can see these two go on to compete in a orderly fashion here in this contest. But WWE in the year of 2025 is something. And now Sami Zayn, we see back suplex to Hijo del Vikingo, is now introduced into this contest as the man who earlier tonight won that United States Championship from Stone Cold Steve Austin, and one of the successful parties, Exploder suplex there from Sami Zayn, one of the successful competitors from back at War Games, where he stood off against two of these men in the ring right now, Sami Zayn and John Cena. Now we see an alliance between Hijo del Vikingo and Batista working together, two unlikely allies in this match. There we see a powerful clothesline from John Cena, as on the other side of the ring, Sami Zayn with an Exploder suplex to eliminate Christopher Daniels in this matchup. Good showing from Daniels, however unsuccessful in coming away with the victory here. Exploder suplex countered by Batista, who answers back with an arm hatch suplex. Sami Zayn now going to have to go one-on-one with the Samoan Werewolf. And now entering at number 28, following up, Jacob Fatu is the current Triple Crown champion here in Universe Mode, that being Roman Reigns, the current Triple Crown champion and former, at the time it was the IWGP North American Championship, but now being rebranded that championship that Jacob Fatu holds, the United States Championship, as now we see Jacob Fatu sitting out with the power slam to Batista. Roman Reigns, however, inserting himself in this contest, going after Sami Zayn here repeatedly. German suplex, however, from Zayn. Two men who feuded over that Triple Crown Championship earlier this year, so it is no surprise to see these two at odds once more. No love lost between Sami Zayn and Roman Reigns here. As now we see Hijo del Vikingo looking to get involved here in eliminating Roman Reigns. Entering at number 29 is Sid Vicious, another man who makes his very first appearance here in Universe Mode at the Royal Rumble pay-per-view event. And what an entrance to make at number 29 so late in this contest, and could be a massive factor here in a match that we already saw. And look, almost there, eliminating Hijo del Vikingo, to my point, in a competition where we saw so much big, heavy-hitting contenders. Brainbuster there from Sami Zayn to Roman Reigns. We still have some tremendous competitors still in this matchup, as there we see a miscommunication there of some sorts. Sami Zayn looking for the Blue Thunder Bomb on Roman Reigns, now countered the half-and-half suplex. Batista, however, hitting the spear on John Cena, and looking to eliminate Cena there was Batista. Two men who have their fair share of Royal Rumble history, that's for sure. Now Cena power slam attempts, but it's countered into a DDT, as number 30, the final competitor in this matchup that we see introduced, is Hiroshi Tanahashi, another man who very surprisingly has not made a single appearance here in Universe Mode. His very first time showing up, and he is number 30 here tonight in the Royal Rumble. Now we see Sami Zayn sending Batista to the outside. No more competitors to enter the field in this matchup, so One of the men you see before you is going to go on to WrestleMania, and it's not going to be Batista, who we see eliminated there at the hands of Sami Zayn, who receives a pop-up Samoan drop now from Jacob Fatu for his efforts. Batista with 3 eliminations in this matchup, to incredible performance but unsuccessful. And now Hijo del Vikingo being sent out too. And Roman Reigns eliminating John Cena in quick order. The ring is starting to clear. Batista and Cena have now been eliminated at the hands of Sami Zayn and Roman Reigns respectively. And now two out of the 5 remaining competitors in this match are members of the Bloodline, which you got to think spells well for their chances of securing that main event position. Crossface now locked in from Sid to Sami Zayn, who rolls Sid off of him into a suplex from Roman Reigns as Jacob Fatu and Hiroshi Tanahashi going at it. Blue Thunder Bomb now from Sami Zayn to Jacob Fatu, as now Roman Reigns looking to eliminate Hiroshi Tanahashi. Sami Zayn assisting in Tanahashi remaining in this contest for the time being. Perhaps looking around the field and realizing that he could really use an ally at a time like this. Now we see Sid Vicious looking to eliminate Jacob Fatu here with him over the ropes, raining down shots, and Sid eliminates the new United States champion, perhaps worn down from his championship match earlier tonight. Styles clash here from Tanahashi to Roman Reigns, as now Sid going to be eliminated by Sami Zayn with an exploder suplex. We are looking at one of the men who is going to go on to face Samoa Joe at WrestleMania. Will it be Roman Reigns? Will it be Hiroshi Tanahashi? Or will it be Sami Zayn? Two of these men being Tanahashi and Roman Reigns, having entered at the very late stage of this matchup. Fortunately for them, number 28 being Reigns, number 30 being Tanahashi. Unfortunately for Sami Zayn, he entered at number 19, but can he outlast these two here tonight? Looking for the elimination there on Reigns, but unsuccessful in doing so. Catches a spear for his efforts, and now Tanahashi from behind sends Sami Zayn over and out of this match. Roman Reigns looking to capitalize immediately after. Very, very heartbreaking loss there for Sami Zayn. Dropkick attempt from Tanahashi, who looked to go for the elimination on Reigns. As you can see, these two men realizing the stakes in front of them. Devastating walk to the back. If you're Sami Zayn, you know he came so very close to securing that WrestleMania main event this year, and you know that he would have loved to be in there with Samoa Joe in the main event, fighting for that world championship that has eluded him. And a suplex into the corner from Roman to Tanahashi, and Roman, another man who surprisingly here in Universe Mode has evaded the grasp of the World Championship despite his tremendous accolades and his caliber as a competitor. He is yet to be a champion here in Universe Mode. And you got to think, after such championship success, we've seen him, as I mentioned, current Triple Crown champion, holding that belt for quite some time, over 200 days now with that championship, as well as in the past being the first ever New Japan North American champion for 216 days. So over 400 days with championship gold here in Universe Mode, and yet Roman never holding that world championship. Now we see reversal from Tanahashi here in the corner, a man who needs no introduction. He is the ace of New Japan. And now we see Tanahashi desperately holding on there. Very near elimination at the hands of Roman Reigns. That could have been bad for Tanahashi. And now the ace once more being sent over the top rope. And again going to hold on despite Roman's best efforts. Tanahashi continuing to fight in this matchup. And now it's Tanahashi who's looking for the elimination on Reigns. He's got him over the top rope. And this could be it here from Tanahashi. Muscling Roman off of the apron, looking to eliminate him, and no, Roman still persisting, managing to hang on. Back suplex there at the hands of Roman Reigns.
Reigns is picking up steam.
And just a straight right hand to take down Tanahashi. These two going at it at the late stages of this match. Everyone else has been eliminated. We are down to 2, and these two putting on a clinic here at the end of the Royal Rumble. Arm drag there from Tanahashi. Now Roman once more going to try and muscle Tanahashi over and into the corner here. Getting Tanahashi up on that top rope. And this could spell disaster and an end for Tanahashi's championship hopes here. Now instead we see Tanahashi fighting out of it, escaping out of the corner. But Roman answering back with another series of strikes.
Oh, look at this. Just cranking the head. That's gotta hurt.
Once more wrenching on the neck, working over the neck there. And now we see Roman getting ready from the corner. Gonna look to charge up for a spear to Tanahashi. That might be the end here for the ace. Roman is able to get him over the ropes now. And is he gonna look to eliminate Tanahashi here? Tanahashi still desperately clawing on for any chance of hope in this matchup. Once more, Roman Reigns sending him to the outside and celebrating as if he's won, but now turning around. Tanahashi, however, still persisting, hanging on in this match, dropping Roman Reigns throat first across the rope. Roman Reigns a bit too quick to celebrate there, and you really don't want to do that at this stage of the matchup, especially with an athlete the likes of Hiroshi Tanahashi. Now it's Tanahashi looking for the elimination on Reigns, but I don't believe he has really done enough damage here to secure that elimination, whereas Reigns has nailed the spear there on Tanahashi, which really has Tanahashi damaged in a way that it might be beyond repair at this stage of the match here. Following it up with a suplex, and Roman relentless. Now gonna hoist him up. Sit out powerbomb from Roman Reigns. Tanahashi trying to get back up to his feet here, but really struggling now to even assert any amount of control here at this stage of the match. And Roman Reigns with a big boot sends Tanahashi out of here, and Roman Reigns secures his spot at the main event of WrestleMania, where we will see two Samoans named Joe going at it for the World Heavyweight Championship. So stay tuned for WrestleMania, where we will see that competition. Will Roman and the entire bloodline be able to take away the World Championship from Samoa Joe?